Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is one that I'm so excited for. So I have been on a calorie deficit for about 4 weeks now, and I've been limiting my calories to 1,200 calories a day, and I have been starving. I wanted to do a day of eating as much food as possible for still sticking to my calorie deficit of 1,200 calories, and I was amazed at how much food you can actually eat, and I thought this would make an interesting video for people who may also be on a calorie deficit, watching their weight, trying to lose a bit of weight as well. So I've been to the food shop already this morning. It's a horrible grey rainy day, even though it's meant to be the middle of summer, but I've got all of the food that I'm going to be eating today. I did spend a bit more money than I would have usually liked to spend. I'm cooking and preparing the food for myself and Kyle, so we split the bill, but it came to about £7 each for the day, and I will leave a shopping list down below just in case you need that. So without further ado, let's do a quick haul. So here is the food shop. I've just got back from Aldi, and here's everything that Kyle and I are going to eat today. So everything you see here I'm going to have about half of, apart from the strawberries and the yogurt, because Kyle wakes up quite hungry. He already had some porridge for breakfast. So I got wonky strawberries and Greek yogurt to go together. The basa is for my lunch, chicken is for dinner, as well as the buffalo sauce and the potatoes. So we're having like chicken, potatoes and cauliflower in buffalo sauce, which is going to be lush. We've got 2 of these big whole broccoli florets each. So one's for me, one's for Kyle, and that is to go with the basa for lunch, along with the soy sauce, so a bit of like an Asian fish dish. Also gonna have some eggs for breakfast, 2 boiled eggs and a slice of wholemeal toast that I've got in the freezer. These rice cakes that have just appeared, I forgot I also wanted to have 3 rice cakes as a snack. The apples are for snacks. I'm also going to have a scoop of my mango greens. These are by Free Soul. They're absolutely lush, and I do have a discount code for those, which I'll leave in the description. But that is a massive amount of food for the day compared to what I've been surviving on recently. So I'm going to get all of this put away and I am gonna get cooking. So here is breakfast. I've got my 2 soft boiled eggs on 1 slice of wholemeal toast, little tiny bit of black pepper on there, and then I've got my 200 grams of strawberries and 125 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt. This is going to be so filling compared to what I've been having all week so far. My calorie meal plan for today leaves me enough calories to have a couple of cups of tea as well, so I just wanted to show you. Recently made the switch from sugar to sweetener. So this is the one from Sainsbury's, but you can also get it in Aldi, and it's not very expensive. 0.5 gram serving, which I think is a teaspoon because it's really light, is 2 calories, which is a lot lighter than sugar. I think sugar's like 16 calories for a spoon. So that's what I have in my tea now, and I'm getting to the point where I can't really tell the difference. And then for milk, I always use semi-skimmed milk. And that's calorie counted as well. 1 of these big mugs, only using 1 tea bag and 1 teaspoon of the sweetener, comes to 27 calories according to MyFitnessPal. Time to prepare our lunch. It is 20 past 12. So this broccoli is mine. I've separated it with some tin foil, and to remind myself which is mine, I've put some tin foil over the side. So that is 250 grams of broccoli on my side, and then Kyle's got a lot more on his side, but he needs more calories than me throughout the day, so he gets a bit more. Then I'm gonna fry my basa fillets just in a frying pan, and then I'm gonna measure out 25 ml of my dark soy sauce and just chuck it over the top. I'm just gonna put literally 1 spray of this over the broccoli. So 1 spray on mine and maybe 3 on Kyle's. So I will add the spray onto my calorie counting app, and I'm just going to pop that into the oven at 200 degrees for like 20-25 minutes. And now it's lunchtime, and to be honest with you, I'm still so full from breakfast that this feels quite early for lunch. Sorry, we live above a dog groomer, so if you can hear barking, that's what it is. But this is my basa fillet pan fried. I measured out my soy sauce. I've got with that my 250 grams of oven baked broccoli. I did put a little bit of cracked black pepper on the top, but other than that there is nothing on here, and this looks delicious. And look how much broccoli there is. So here is my little post-lunch snack. I've just been for a walk and I've burnt 675 calories today so far, which is really good. So I've got 110 grams of apple and then I've got 3 rice cakes here, so I'm gonna scrounge that. Now it's time for my mango greens. These are my free sol greens and they have got 1,500 amazing ingredients in them, and I try to have these every day but I usually forget. But it's 1 teaspoon topped up with water, and there they are. This has 17 calories for a 5-gram teaspoon, and I'm just gonna drink that and get all hydrated and full of goodness. Okay guys, it's dinner time. So here are my prepared sliced up potatoes. These are mine. I've done the same thing so I can differentiate. So that's my 250 grams of potatoes, which is still quite a lot, but compared to how many I sliced, I completely overestimated how many potatoes we'd need. I think we're going to end up with some leftovers from this, and I'm also going to add the raw chicken to that as well and do it almost like a tray bake, and then I'm going to finish it off in a pan with the buffalo sauce and mix it all together so it's like a big gooey, potatoey, cauliflower, chickeny mess. So let's get these potatoes in. Okay, it's nearly ready. I'm absolutely starving again, which I don't really know how I am because I've eaten so much today. I'm just finishing it off in the pan. Ooh, this is my little portion here, and then this is the big one, which I think we might get some lunch out of because there's tons in there. Dinner is served. That's mine at the back. This one's Kyle's, and there is a spare lunchbox because there was so much food. I think it would look nice if there was a bit of greenery on this, but it smells really good, so I don't really mind. And here is the finished product on my table, so it's got the nice lighting, you can actually see it. But this is 420 calories, which is just white potato, cauliflower. I did calculate the cooking spray, 150 grams of chicken breast, and the buffalo sauce that you saw earlier. And then I have popped a bit of cracked black pepper on top as well, of course. Nice and simple, nice and easy. So that was my day of eating, and I feel so much better for that. I just think it's amazing how much food you can eat if you're eating the right things. And now I just wanted to give a few tips and a few, basically this is how I planned my day out, and this is how I worked out what I was gonna eat for so few calories but so much food. I'm very sorry to say that I did use ChatGPT. I try not to use it too much. I'm a bit scared of AI, I'm not gonna lie, but it is so helpful. But I asked ChatGPT the day before, so yesterday, write me a day's meal plan eating as much volume as food as possible for 1,200 calories. And then in the message I also specified that I definitely wanted to have 200 grams of strawberries for my breakfast just because I fancied strawberries lately. And it came back with quite a good list of breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack ideas. And although I didn't follow this completely to the letter, obviously some of that will look familiar from what I've eaten today, I didn't follow it word for word. I used it kind of more as like inspiration, but the main thing I would say, the main thing to do when you're doing this is to plan. So I use an app called MyFitnessPal, everyone's probably heard of it, but what I did when I was using ChatGPT's menu as inspiration is I added all the things that I wanted to eat and I calculated the calories as I went. So I made sure that I hadn't eaten, you know, a massive breakfast, I still had enough for lunch, dinner and my snacks. So I pre-added lunch and I pre-added dinner, and those are my snacks down there as well. So I made sure that I would have enough to carry me all the way through the day, and I made sure that I was still going to come in at under 1,200 calories before I'd even started eating. ChatGPT gave the tips of focus on high water, high fiber foods like cucumber, lettuce, courgette, strawberries and cauliflower. And as you can see, I did have a few of those in my meals today. It also says use spices, herbs, vinegar and lemon juice to add flavour without adding calories. So I took that one with a grain of salt. You'll probably notice that the food I ate today, it was quite light on the seasoning. I really only did use salt and pepper and a little bit of soy sauce, just because when I've been calorie counting recently, I've noticed that spices like paprika, for example, we also use quite a lot of harissa spice at home. We also use Cajun spice here and there, and a teaspoon of that is actually a fair amount of calories. So I'm just wary of adding too much, even though I know it really improves the flavour, but I wanted to eat as much food to feel as full as possible. So I thought I'd rather sacrifice the spices, because if you're adding a teaspoon here, a teaspoon there, it can add up really quickly. You know, you could easily eat like 100 calories worth of herbs and spices, so I just tried to avoid that completely. It also says to avoid calorie-dense extras like oils, cheeses and nuts unless measured carefully. The oil that I used when I was cooking my food earlier, it was literally just the spray oil. It's 1 calorie per spray. I didn't have any cheese, as much as that broke my heart, and I didn't have any nuts, as much as that broke my heart as well, because I love nuts. But today's focus was very much on eating like as much food as physically possible while still keeping the calories nice and low, still making sure I got plenty of fruit and veg. So I hope this video proves that you don't have to eat like a mouse to stick to a calorie deficit. You can still eat quite a lot of food, you just have to be careful with your choices, pre-plan it out. And I feel absolutely amazing. I'm so proud, I'm so happy, I'm so full. We have been eating quite a lot of rice and pasta, and I saw a video on Instagram the other day and it said you can have double the amount of white potatoes versus the amount of pasta you would have for the same amount of calories. And we've been having so much pasta lately, and pasta's not actually that healthy. It's lush and it's like I would choose it day in day out, but if I can have more potatoes for less calories, then obviously I'm gonna make that swap. But that was my what I eat in a day, 1200 calories, high volume of food vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. I will leave a shopping list down below costing everything up as well, and I will also leave the calorie breakdowns of each meal down in the description, just in case you wanted to give this a little go. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye.